You look like you war ready.
Man, look, always. I apologize for the inconvenience. I was actually posted. I was sitting still, but I got a call. I had to make a run, to go check on my babies real quick. So the daddy's job is never done. Y'all know how that go.
Right,
But we
right,
still
right.
gonna make it shake for y'all though.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Thank you, man. Thank you for tapping in with me as well. There's a lot of boxing topics to be touching up on. I wanted to, just touch base on your brother's performance as well. Obviously, what's going on with you, and then, but first off, let's touch up on your performance with your brother. Um, how was it? Obviously going back, um, it was quite of a layoff, and it was your hometown as well, right?
Yeah, it was definitely in our hometown, man. It was cool. It wasn't rough going back with a layoff or anything like that. The biggest thing was putting the work in. We had a great game plan going into the fight. We had decent sparring, good sparring, getting ready for the fight. My little brother was physically and mentally ready, and he was prepared. Um, he's honestly, in my opinion, he's ready for these guys in the upper echelon or for one of these titles.
Right. He scored a first round KO. Pretty pretty monstrous, if I had to say, very explosive. Um,
There you go.
toward towards the end of the fight, just like any other great coach would say, um, we got to go back into the lab and work on certain things. Without
Yeah.
spilling the game plan, I know that you guys are real technical with your stuff. What do you mean by that?
Um, like I said, when they asked me, he's still a young, growing fighter. He's still maturing, in his game. With every fight, he should get better. And there's still room for growth. I felt like, and I told him at the end of the fight, it's his opportunity to create and paint a picture. That was his opportunity to create one of those highlight reel stoppages or knockouts. You know, he was just on seek and destroy.
Hmm. Uh, I like that. You just mentioned, that highlight reel type of a knockout versus what was just displayed. A lot of people don't talk about that. But a lot of people, you're in and out. You're in and out. But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys smash the like button. We got Mr. Gary and
My house,
yeah. What was you saying?
my house in the middle of the woods. I said I apologize for the service right now because my house is in the middle of the wood.
Is that where you're headed now?
Nah, I'm actually leaving. I told you I got a call.
Check on the babies. Understand. Not gonna get into like great topics until the service starts to get a little bit better. I think it's starting to get better right now. Um,
Yeah, it's about to start getting better in
word.
a minute.
Nevertheless, he had a great performance that night. Um, another thing was that we had Subriel Matias in the building. He holds the IBF world title. Um, how do you balance being a coach, watching film on your brother's opponents, then you going back into the ring and studying these guys as well for you
I mean, wait, me going back into the ring as far as me
and your
competing
opponents?
and then my
Yeah, and your opponents, because you last time we talked,
man,
you said you had several divisions that you would like to touch on, depending on what name you like
Oh
best,
yeah,
basically.
yeah. What name I like best? With the people, with the fans and stuff who want to see now that I no longer have the obligations. At the 126 division. But it's never been an issue though. I've always worked hand in hand with my father when it came to critiquing my younger brothers, or just the behind the scenes work with the business stuff, the contracts and etc. And it makes it even easier because it's iron sharpens iron. As of now, I'm not getting ready for an actual fight, but I'm in because I've been working out simultaneously with my younger brother doing his camp. We do everything together. So that makes it a little easy. Also, difference when it's your dad telling you or it's your brother telling you. That's that blind faith right there. So
Right,
it hit a little,
right,
different there.
100%. Um, when we talk about your brother, obviously people want to see him in big fights, logical
Oh
fights,
yeah,
obviously. Um,
right.
how do you see, a matchup with him and some of these guys that are holding the title? We got Rolly Romero, Regis
Oh
Prograis,
man.
the
Oh
IBF
man.
Subiel Matias, and then
Oh
Teofimo Lopez.
man. Listen, my brother and we call him Gordo. You know what I'm saying? My brother and Gordo, they were already good friends. They
I
worked
heard.
before. Yeah, they worked before. It was good work. I personally like Gordo, as a person, and his father. Wow, he's like wild as shit. His father wild as shit. I like him though.
Yeah, I'm about to
Um,
speak to him tonight.
uh, but shit, I ain't gonna hold you, man. Even Rolly, I like Rolly personally. I like Rolly personally. I think he's good for business. He gonna talk his shit. He gonna get his shine off. But I think he's ready for every last one of them. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? I mean, like I say, it's nothing personal with none of these guys. This is just a sport in which that we were in. It's only right for us to clash or come together and get the fans what they want.
right.
So those are all the guys that I feel as though that my younger brother is ready for, and fuck around and get their ass.
Mm. When we look at those four champions, from one being like the best and four being the least, how would you rate them?
Uh, wait, you got Gordo, Broly,
Regis
um, Regis.
and Subriel Matias.
I ain't seen much of that guy, of the last guy that you just mentioned.
A lot of
I
people
like.
want to see your brother with him because they have the highest KO ratio of the division.
I
He
know
was there
exactly
that
what the
night.
fuck you talking about. I know
He,
exactly what you talking about. He's nice. He's good too. He's even handed, but intellect gonna fuck him up. Intellect gonna
mm,
give him problems. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
It's good when you can punch, but it matters when you can make a motherfucker run into certain shit. Intellect gonna play a part with him. Um, to be honest with you, I'll put that guy and Gordo. I'll probably have them tied.
I like it.
I'll have them two tied as like number one right there in that weight division. I personally like Gordo. He's rugged. He can box. He has decent boxing ability. He can box a little bit. He gonna bring that shit to you if necessary. And he a little dog. The other guy that we mentioned, I put him right there just because of his punching ability. He's even-handed. You know what I'm saying? He has the ability to change the fight at any time of the fight. So you got to put him there just for that. Yeah, I'll tie them too. Regis and
Rolly.
Broly. I don't know. I don't know. That's a coin toss between them two as well. But
Mm,
I'll put the other two first though. I'll definitely put
mm.
the other two first.
I
But I
like it.
like Rolly, man. I like Rolly. And I like Gordo. I like
Right,
Gordo, but man, in this business right here, man, everybody, hey, ain't nobody exempt. Ain't nobody
right.
exempt. We try and get to it. So may the best man win. May the best man win. But we coming. We coming for that shit.
Logic, logically, like normally when it comes to some of these prospects slash contenders, they try to put a former champion in the mix before they put him in there with a title holder. Um,
Right.
guys like I know that the 140 division is starting to get very busy. I mean, we got
Yeah.
Richardson Hitchens going to be fighting the former champion Jose Cepeda. Then we have Devin Haney that's entering the division, wants to mix it up with Regis Prograis. I mean, those two matchups alone right there, how do you see them go in your eyes?
Uh, I like Richard's Hitchens. That's Boots. That's
Nah,
Boots,
Richardson
right?
Hitchens is Africa.
Oh, that's
Af-
Africa. Africa.
the
Africa.
one from New
Oh
York.
shit, little Africa. See, I don't know them by their nicknames. I only know them by their nicknames. They came up a little up under me, so it's no disrespect to them. The names always ring a bell, but I know them all by their nicknames.
Yeah.
I like little Africa. Africa's nice, and he's going at
He fought your
look.
brother in the amateurs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, my brother beat that ass. They actually lost some money to us in the bet behind that fight
Mm.
for the fans, just so y'all can know.
A little wager.
Um,
So y'all went
yeah, it was
wagering in
just
the amateurs.
we was wagering. I was professional, but my little brother was getting ready for the Olympics, and Africa was competing as well, and we had a little wager. The wager wasn't with him; it was with a friend of his, but it was behind him, another fighter, and we betted that if them meet in the tournament, who would win? And of course, I betted on my little brother. My brother
Hmm.
spanked that ass, and I got that money. So,
Mm.
but no, I like Shorty
You
though.
never forget when you
He
win money.
never forget when you win money. Never forget when you win money. There you go. But no, I like Africa. He can box. And who he's fighting against again?
Jose Cepeda, the guy that Regis Prograis recently beat.
That'll be a good one. That'll be a good one. That'll be a good one. I think Africa's boxing ability is going to be able to hold him. I think he's going to try to stay long. He's going to box him. He's going to try to keep him at the end, make him run into shit and stuff like that. If he's in shape, he's healthy, he'll be able to do so. I think that'd be a good one. I think that'd be
Yeah.
a good one. I'd probably go with Africa on that
Now, the fight that has been juggling around is Regis and Devin. How does Devin compete at 140? Because it is a different animal, and
one. I
that
don't
matchup
know,
alone.
man. I don't know. I don't know. I know Regis. Regis is definitely the heavier puncher.
Hmm.
I think he's the heavier puncher. He's bigger. And I watched. It's funny because I was going with Haney
Hmm.
when he fought Lomachenko.
Got you.
I felt like I was a little torn, but I was a little bit leaning towards Devin, just a little bit.
I remember.
Um, I was torn. I thought that Lomachenko's just experience could possibly become a factor in this fight and make a big difference. But I also felt that Devin was going to be able to box him, keep him at a certain distance, and keep him at bay. And when I watched the fight, man, Devin had fucking problems, man. That shit was, I don't know. So if Regis can close the distance and start touching his ass like Lomachenko was able to touch him, who's a bigger puncher than Lomachenko,
Hmm.
then shit can get ugly for Devin.
Is that a
Shit can get ugly
50-50
for
fight?
Devin. I think that could be a 50-50 fight. I think that could be a 50-50 fight. If Devin is on his game, if his defense is right, if he's boxing right, you know, um, he can get it. But if he slips up and his defense ain't the way it's supposed to be, and Reed just says, "Man, fuck this guy's boxing ability. I'm about to walk at him and I'm about to send this shit." He can be it can be a bad night for Devin if he ain't on point.
Mm. Who do you lean towards a little bit more in that fight?
I don't know. It's a 50-50.
Say if they're both on their game.
If they both on that game, I still think it's a 50-50 because I still think Devin, even when he's on his game, he's defensively flawed. He
Right.
gets hit with shots and stuff like that. I think even with Regis, if he's on his game, he still has problems with people that move and give him a little bit of lateral movement, but he's still heavy handed, so you can't really call it in boxing. Sometimes that shit, it can be tricky. It happens like that. So that's a 50-50. I think it's still a 50-50 chance.
Right. Um, when does when you say 50-50, are you more in the hands of like Regis has a puncher's chance in that fight?
Yeah, Regis definitely has a puncher's chance.
Okay.
He definitely has the puncher's chance. I think Devin can box. I think he has the goods. I think he can box. I don't think he has the real pop to make a person respect him the way that he wants to. But the accumulation of hitting the guy, and countering the guy would tend to make a person second guess punching. But I think he's defensively flawed sometimes. When somebody really starts to attack and mash the gas, and it's like he tries to get too pretty instead of he tries to be too cute to get out the way instead of be, correct when it comes
Mm,
to certain things. And I think that could be a downfall when you in there with someone that's heavy handed, you know.
right.
But I also feel as though that Devin can have Regis discombobulated enough by countering him and touching him, whenever he do throw these big shots, making them miss and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know. I can't call that one.
Um, it's been taking a little time to make this fight happen. Regis has been out like in the open in the internet speaking upon why Devin hasn't signed the contract. I spoke to Regis. Regis told me that he did not Devin Haney has not signed the contract. They were talking about an October 29th date, and
Hmm.
that's not the date that Regis signed for. Regis signed for November, middle of November date. Um,
Okay.
so people are putting things out in the open. Obviously, when we look at A side, B side in this fight, Devin has a great relationship with Eddie, and he's more of a popular fighter. So I give him the A side. We have Regis that holds the title. In your beliefs or what your thoughts are, he also holds the WBC at 35 as well, Devin. So when
Yeah.
you hear all these things, right, what goes through your mind as far as is these mind games or is this like I don't know if I'm ready for the smoke at 140?
I can't say that they're mind games or is I don't know if I'm ready for the smoke at 140. I can't put my finger on that. I can't speak for Devin or Regis when it comes to that. But I can, from what you told me, if their contract is for November, then it should be fucking November. It doesn't matter if he's the A side or the B side.
Hmm.
That's just how it goes. Um, I can say that when we were trying to make a fight with Devin, it was some funny business with the contract as well.
Mm.
That never materialized.
Are you speaking upon your brother or you?
No, no, no. I was speaking about me and Devin. I was trying to make a fight with Devin, but right after the pandemic or something like that. I was trying to fight Devin, um, and then they made a big deal like they sent the contract and the contract wasn't signed, and it was just a lot of stuff in the contract that would deter a person from actually wanting to, you know, sign. It was a lot of bullshit within it. So I don't know. It could be just mind games. Could be. I can't really, like I said, I don't know. I can only speak from my experience. But if the contract, if he signed for November, then it should be November. They shouldn't be talking about nothing in October.
Right, right. And in the comments here, somebody reminded me of a guy that we spoke upon in our prior interview, and it was Chris Colbert. You know, it seems to me he's seen our interview. He hit me up right away and said, Gary's just talking. He don't really want to fight me. Um, when
Who
you
said
hear
that?
those,
Chris Colbert?
yeah,
Hey, tell Chris Colbert, man, stop bluffing before I expose him, man.
mm,
Before I expose him. I'm a real dog. I'm a real dog at the end of the day. I'm a real dog at the end of the day, Chris. You do know you'll have to run into me in one of these fights, right?
um, in the same time, when we stay on the topic of Devin, obviously he's in the top of his game at the 135 with all the
Speak.
strap
I'm gonna cut you off for a second.
handle.
But that's actually, I'm gonna cut you off for a second. But that's actually who I betted and got that money and took his money on Africa since he
That
wanted to bring it up. That's
that
that's
makes sense.
that's just bringing it up. But that
That
ain't
makes
mean that
sense
ain't
because
mean
they're New York brothers. They're New York brothers, so I can understand that.
that I was gonna leave his name anonymous, because it wasn't that relevant to me. But stop playing with me, Shaw, before I really expose you out here and post some shit that was sent. Stop what you doing.
Yeah, like he posted a piece of our interview, but then deleted it.
That's something little kids do. That's not no grown man shit. Stand behind what you say. Stand behind it. Don't delete no shit. If I post something or say something, I'm standing on it. I don't give a fuck who like it, don't like it. That's just what it is.
Mm.
He would post and delete some stuff.
Yeah, he had two rough outings back to back with Ryu. Um, I believe
But
that
who?
Ryu won that. Jose Venezuela, the guy from
Oh,
Benavides
the
camp.
last fight, it's like, oh, he got his ass beat. He got dropped and all that shit. He got the nerve to talk. Like, he just trying to talk himself into another ass whooping and a little money. That's all, y'all.
Yeah, that fight messed up my whole parlay too, because I had Ryu win that fight.
I mean, and he did win if you ask me. My
Hmm.
thing is this. I ain't even gonna lie. As a competitor of the sport, as a real competitor, when you this that one on one shit. This ain't no we can pass the ball to our teammate. Nothing. This one on one, man, mano y mano. When you get out the ring at the end of the day, I don't give a damn if they raise your hand. You know that you got your ass beat, and you know good and fucking well you ain't win that fight. That's
Yeah.
some real man shit. If something like that happened to me in the ring, I'm the type of person that'll tell a dude, hey, Holmes, they gave me this motherfucker, but in my eyes, you won that. You won that.
Mm.
That you won that.
Yeah, he
That's real man
right.
shit. You know what I'm saying? Hold yourself accountable to certain shit. I don't like people like that. And then you got the nerve to talk shit like you really did something. You got your ass beat.
Mm.
Stop it.
Yeah, he mentioned in a recent interview that he would like to run it back due to the fact that he felt probably and the fans felt like he got Ryu got robbed in that fight. Let's see if he really runs it back.
Yeah, let's see if he run that back.
Yeah.
I bet you the outcome will be very similar.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, because Ryu let off on the gas a couple rounds, so he could have really pushed it. He started becoming
Mm-hmm.
more defensively sound for the fans. But nevertheless, and then he also said he would want to run it back with Hector Garcia, the guy he lost his title to. Um,
Mm-hmm. Both of them beat that ass.
mm, mm. Nevertheless, and then there was rumors of him fighting Tank. I seen an interview with Espinosa talking about that. I mean, honestly, is that for the check in your
It would
eyes?
definitely be. It would definitely be for the chat. I mean, well, we're prize fighters at the end of the day. You know, majority of this shit is for the check. That's what we
Mm-hmm.
do it for. Some of this
Right.
shit can be personal, and we'll take a little less bag just so I can get my hands on you. I take
Mm.
a little less bag just so I can put my hands on you. You know, depending on the situation. You know, but we definitely in it for the bag. You know, I think prime time. I think he's good for the sport as far as just
An
shit
entertainer.
talking, entertainment. You know, he's good
Mm-hmm.
for the sport as far as entertainment. You know, stuff like that. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty, and it's crunch time, and the motherfucker say, "Fuck all that pretty shit you got. I'm about to lock these joints up. I'm about to start walking you down. I'm about to start sending this shit."
Mm.
He fold.
Mm.
He fold.
Now, your brother had an outing. What are they? They're 3-1. Him and Boots in the amateurs.
Yeah,
Um,
I like boots. I like
right.
boots.
When you look at both of them, right? Obviously, the amateurs are the amateurs and the pros are the pros, but
Yeah.
you start to see, where these guys progress
Yep,
from
and they
that
start
time.
developing and stuff. Yeah.
Where do you believe their development stages are, as far as, did somebody develop a little bit more leading up to the pros than another, and how do they match up again? You know, because you keep it. That's one thing about you, Gary. You keep it real. That's one thing I was like, yo, I'll always do an interview with Russell because you keep it
I'ma
real.
keep it 100. I ain't gonna food poison the fans. I'ma tell you what I think. You know what I'm saying? If you ask a question, if you ask a question that I don't like, I probably just say, man, look, I ain't like that shit. I ain't answering that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna keep it 100 for the people. You know what I'm saying? But as far as their development, they both developed well. Both developed well. I think Boots had a little quicker platform than my younger brother did. You know, my brother's platform was just a little slower. You know, but I think they both developed well. I want to say not Boots' last fight, but the fight before last, when I think he fought on Tank's undercard. He
Karen, yes.
he fought on Tank's undercard, and I was like, man, look, I like Shorty, but I didn't like that fucking performance.
Hmm.
He didn't fight up to his potential on that particular fight. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, hopefully his father got in his ass. Hopefully he seen the fight. He looked at it. He hopefully as a good fighter, young up and coming fighter, he looked at that shit and said, damn, they fucking right. Man, I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? And then the next fight, I seen, I seen showmanship. You know, I seen more comfortability. You know, I said, okay. I said, okay, there you go. You know, so I think the development is definitely going well with both of them. I think the only difference is just the stages in which that they've been on. And shit, I'm over. I never go against the home team though.
Right.
I never go against my bloodline, my pedigree, that my DNA. You know, we always gonna go with that. You know, so if they go again, of course I'm going with my younger brother. You know, but Boots and anybody else, I like Sean. I like him.
Mm. When I talked to your brother, he said that he had a conversation with Boots when they met up after the fight and said, "You do what you gotta do. I gotta do what I gotta do, and we'll make it a mega fight later on in the pros."
I can see that.
Um,
I can see that. I can see that.
Now, do you believe that your brother got the cheat code still to beat Boots today?
Hell yeah, the cheat code was is what's in our creed. Everybody
Mm.
trained different. Everybody taught different. You know, when it's crazy. You know, we used to look at a lot of karate movies back in the day. When you look at the karate movies, everybody has it's so many different styles. It's
Right.
so many different styles. They got the toe style. They got drunken monkey, drunken master, and all this stuff. There's so many different styles of it. You
Kung
know what
Fu
I'm saying?
Tiger.
Yeah, crouching tiger and all that. And I think what makes the difference and the reason why we have the code is a lot of these people are one dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
They only master just that one thing. When you have the ability to be versatile and do multiple things and not just do it good. Let me see you do this shit right here just as good as you do that. And then I want to see you do that right there just as good as you do that. When you do that, then you really got my attention. I
Mm.
think that's what's going to make the difference.
Mm.
I think that's the shit that's going to make the difference.
Um, speaking upon Boots, it's like obviously he's been put in front of people that he could beat. A lot of guys that were smaller than him. Now he just fought Ramon Villa, that was also tailor made for him. Um,
Yeah, styles make fights.
correct.
I mean, but
So
that's what a good promoter's supposed to do. That's a good manager promoter. That's how the business works to a certain extent too.
when do you see that fight like actually happening though with your brother in Boots?
That would be down the road. That'll be down the road.
Are we talking like 2 to 3 years?
Yeah, I can see something 2 to 3 years, depending on how things shake out. I think the younger division, the younger guys, they about to start making their run.
Mm-hmm.
These younger guys about to start making their run. A lot of the older guys that could possibly have the skill set or I'm not even gonna say the skill set. I'll just call it experience because they just been around and been doing things for so long. That could possibly create upsets and stuff like that. I think they'll be on their way. They'll probably be like on their way out. They about to retire. So they'll probably be passing the torch to a lot of these younger guys. I think that's around the time when that'll probably happen.
Right. Um, You know, we just and guys, let's get these likes up as well. We got 66 people on the live, 17 likes. We got the one and only Garry Russell Jr. in the building on Mill City Boxing, and we about to turn up and bring some heat to the stage as well. Now, gearing up to some of your our prior interview that we had, um, I gotta salute you because you got a lot of grief for picking Inoue, right? And I pretty much, yeah, yeah,
I
right,
got a lot of grief for picking him for that fight.
leading up to the fight, right? And I was like, that's why I say keeping it real. This is what I say keeping it real because it was like I interviewed 50 fighters, only
It's
three gave
I,
me anyway.
I don't want to cut you off, but if I got grief, it is what it is, man. Everybody got their own opinion. I'ma stand
Well,
on my
not no
shit.
more. Well, not no more.
I mean, and look, and I say what I say. I mean, I like Fulton. I like Fulton. I like him as a person. I would want him to win, but I personally, in that fight, I felt like the lights was too bright for him a little bit. Even with Earl and Bud, I picked Earl for that fight.
I know.
I I still stand behind my decision on that. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Something was wrong with Earl before they fought.
Mm, mm. We're gonna touch it. We're
Now,
gonna
now
dive
I'm
in
not.
deep.
I'm not gonna take now. This is me not this. This is not me discrediting Terence. Not one single bit. You know what I'm saying? If you get in there with someone that's compromised, it's your job to bust that ass. And if you're better than them, be better than them. But I don't think that he competed against a healthy Errol Spence. I think something was wrong with Earl before that fight.
Where did you see the complications? Like, was it in the locker
I
room
seen
doing
man,
the pad?
fuck nah, hell nah. I seen that shit 2-3 days before the fight. They
Mm,
did a he did a it was like a media workout or something. And he was doing the media workout and you can see within the workout he was like missing a step. Like he was
Balance.
missing his step, like his equilibrium and everything was off. Even when he was throwing punches, and his coach, he was started hitting the mitts, and his coach like threw something for him to like catch it, for him to block it. He didn't even throw the shit hard.
Yep.
He just threw it, barely touched them, and it
Yep.
like just knocked them way out. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm
Hmm.
like, hey, I don't know what it is, but something ain't right with Earl. Something ain't right with Earl. And if he fights like this, he gonna get his ass beat. But I think it's bigger than what I expected it to be. I think something wrong with Earl before that fight, man. I think something was wrong with him, man.
What do you think it was? Do you think it was a combination of the car crash and the weight drain? Do you believe it's the weight drain?
I
What
think
do you?
I'm not a doctor, so y'all can't quote me on this shit. But if you personally ask me, in my personal opinion, I think it's something neurologically wrong. I think it's something neurologically wrong. Like my father, before he passed, like years before he passed, he had a stroke. And when he had the stroke, he it affected a part of his body. It affected a part of his body, and like he had to like relearn how to walk again or something like that to a certain extent. I feel like Earl was like a couple stages above that shit. You know what I'm saying? Whereas though his fine motor skills was good, it's like his fine motor skills wasn't as sharp or as crisp as they supposed to be. His equilibrium wasn't as on point as it was supposed. It was a lot. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Did
I
you
don't
see
know.
a big without the abilities being as sharp as they were? Was there still a big skill gap?
I mean, I said before the fight. I said before the fight that I felt like Terence was the more athletic specimen. I felt like he's the more athletic specimen. I felt like Terence was more quicker on the gas. He had better reflexes and stuff like that. I felt like if he was in 15 round shape, he would be able to win the fight. I felt like he would be able to make Earl counter Earl and stuff like that with his abilities, with his reflexes and stuff like that. Um, that's what he did. But I honestly felt like he did that to a lesser Earl though.
Mm, mm. Some people in the chat were saying you had Earl in it, and now that I'm thinking about,
No,
I think
I did have
you yeah
I had Earl winning. I picked Earl to win, but I
yeah
said I picked Earl to win. I said, but just like I said with Caleb Plant when he fought Canelo, if he's in 15 round shape, he's gonna beat Canelo. And I
mm,
said if Bud is in 15 round shape, he'll beat Terrence. That's exactly what I said. I said if he's in 15 round shape, I can see him getting him. I think he's the more athletic specimen. He'll keep his ass at the end, be able to outbox him, counter him, and make him run in the shit. I said, but if he's not, come the eighth, ninth round, Earl gonna start walking his ass down.
mm.
That's exactly what I said.
Now,
But that was not the motherfucker Earl that I know.
do you believe in the rematch it would be the same thing?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. In my personal opinion, and now I probably get a whole bunch of grief behind this shit, and I
Go
really don't
ahead.
even care. In my personal opinion, I think if they rematch, it'll probably be worse. And I don't think it has anything to do with Terrence. I think that is something wrong with Earl. I
Mm,
think if Earl fights anybody that's a heavy-handed puncher and he get too many shots upside the fucking head from what I've seen, he fucking around and probably leave this. He fucking around and probably leave this jump. You know what I'm saying? Because in this sport, people do die. You know what I'm
right.
saying? People do have brain aneurysms and leave this motherfucker. What I seen in Earl, I think I personally, like I say, I'm not a doctor, but I felt like something was wrong with him before he fought. Like neurologically, something was off with him before he fought. His balance is his balance. All of that shit was off. I don't think it's a Terence thing. I think if he fights anybody that's heavy-handed and he take one too many shots, he could be really really damaged. You know what I'm saying? Like as a fellow fighter, as a gladiator, and someone that understands what it takes to get to a certain point in this sport, you want to get in with your faculties and get out with your faculties. You know what I'm saying? You want to get in, make as much money as you can, and you want to get out and be clear-headed without taking too many damage or blows upside the head and shit like that. Maybe it was dehydration. If it was dehydration, then he could bounce back. Maybe if they fight at a bigger weight, it'd be different. But from
Mm.
what I seen, I personally don't know. I don't know.
Right, right. We're about to get into some more heat, ladies and gentlemen. We got 91 people on the live and only 32 likes. I need to get these likes up. We got the one and only Garry Russell Jr. in the building. Now, Garry, now everybody want to see Terence with, fantasy matchups. Everybody want to see Terence with, guys moving up to weight classes. He just recently, right, went on the Joe Brogan show and said that he would like to challenge the winner of Jermell Charlo and Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds. In your eyes,
That's a smart move.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's a smart move.
Let's talk about both of the opponents on in your half when it comes
That's a
to
smart move.
stylistically. What do you
That's a
see
smart move.
stylistically if you've seen Terrence fight Canelo Alvarez? What do you see? And this is at 168 pounds.
I think Canelo going. I think first. Let me say this. I think it's a smart move for one.
Mm-hmm.
We prize fighters. Why not go get the bag? Get the motherfucking bag. That's what we're here for. Both of them fights should generate good bag. That's a good move. Now, as far as do I think he will win both of them? I don't know about that shit. I think he got a better chance with the Charlo than Canelo.
Yeah.
I think he got a better chance with Charlo than Canelo.
When you look at Canelo, what goes through your mind as far as why it's a harder
Experience,
fight? Experience.
because I think he's more experienced. I think he's more experienced. Those some more. I think he's more experienced, and I also feel like, this is the thing. I like the Canelo. I mean, I like Charlos. I like both of them. I like both of them, but I'm not 100% sold on them based upon the fact that I don't feel like they truly reached their full potential. Like I think they can fight, but I think they so caught up in the smoke and the mirrors of this shit. I think they so caught up in the smokes and the mirrors of this shit that the 100% they should put into, what I'm saying, into their craft. I think some of that shit get lost into the social media. Some of that shit get lost into the look at me type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I give Bud a better chance with the Charlo than Canelo. And I think Canelo, he's more experienced. Canelo is definitely more experienced. I think he's gonna be in shape. He's gonna come. I think Canelo would come with the game plan on smooth pressure. I'm gonna press this young bull. I'm gonna press his ass. I ain't gonna waste a lot of punches. I'm gonna press him. I'm gonna shell up. I'm gonna let him throw a lot of punches early in the fight. You know what I'm saying? The first couple, 4, 5 rounds, I'm going to shell up. I'm going to touch his ass downstairs hard. You know what I'm saying? Come 7, 8, oh yeah. I'm going to trap his young ass in the corner. I'm going to trap his ass in the corner and I'm going to start sending this shit. You know what I'm saying? I think Canelo will have a game plan something similar to that. So I don't
Who
know.
got a better chance, Terrence or Mel, in a Canelo fight, stylistically?
Damn, that's difficult. That's difficult, man. Um, well, no. I'll always go with a good boxer over a solid puncher. So I'll say Bud. I'll say Bud.
Mm,
I'll say
mm,
Bud over him.
mm.
I think with Canelo and the Charlo, I think they both got. I think Terence Crawford is the better athlete than both of them. I
I
think
agree.
like agile wise, like I think he's agile. I think he'll be able to move way quicker. You know what I'm saying? His flexes is a little better. I think that shit is better than both of
Mm. Now, you know, when people are talking about if Terrence stayed at welterweight, what do you think about Boots? Do you think Boots is still
them.
a
I think
guy?
Boost will give him a problem.
Yeah.
Boost will give him problems. Boost will give him problems.
Mm.
Boost will give him problems. And to be
I
honest with you, if I was Terrence, I ain't gonna say if I was Terrence, but Terrence Peoples, that'd be a stupid move for him to go to Boots, for them to fight Boots right now. That'd be too risky. That'd be too risky.
so you believe that's a 50-50 fight?
Fuck yeah. I think Boots bigger. Boots naturally bigger. Boots naturally motherfucking bigger. He ain't gonna be afraid to mix it the fuck up with him. I think he's a heavier puncher. I think he's the heavier puncher. He's bigger. And I think when it comes, even though he's bigger, I think his reflexes and stuff like that is closer to Terrence than Charlo or Canelo.
Probably anybody from 47 to 68.
Not my little brother.
Hey, okay, okay.
Um,
I,
but he ain't
but
47. He
your
ain't
brother's not at
47.
47
He
yet.
ain't
So
47. So, but but yeah,
um
that'll be something that they'll probably want to stay away from right now. Unless they going, unless it's going, it's not. And the thing is this: that fight wouldn't generate more of a bag than him fighting Canelo or him fighting one of the Charlo. So it wouldn't make sense.
right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? It's too risky.
Right. 100%. Just gonna get into one of these super chats. Brandon Gibson, thank you for the $10. We got 100 people on the live with only 45 likes. We need to turn up. We're here with Garry Russell Jr. Stop playing with me. Brandon Gibson said, "Can you ask Gary what adjustments his brother needed to make against Animal? I forget how Emmanuel Rodriguez."
What adjustment? Oh, he's talking about Antonio. What adjustments he needed to make with him mentally? He wasn't ready for that fight.
Okay.
Mentally, my little brother wasn't ready for that fight at the time. My father, we just lost our father and coach. You know, the torch got passed over to me at that point. Um, mentally, he took it. We all took it different. You know, as the loss of our father, everybody took it in their own individual way, and my younger brother took it differently. I don't think mentally he was ready to fight. He actually tricked me, if you to be honest with you, because if I would have seen any signs of him being mentally off or anything like that during the camp, I would have pulled it. I would have definitely pulled the fight. You know, during the camp, his spawn and everything was great. He was looking good during the fight, but it was something about us actually being at the venue, being in the ring, you know, lights, camera, action, and then when he look over, Pop's not there, you know, like everything just hit him, you know what I'm saying, hit him all at once, you know. So I think honestly, mentally, he just wasn't ready for that fight at that particular time. And even with that, after the knockdown and stuff was done, he actually started pulling on and won the last. few rounds up until that point before they stopped the fight. But that's the only thing I can say towards that situation. I don't think that he was really mentally ready to compete at that time. You can't, you
Understand
can't, you can't, you can't be in this motherfucker in this sport. You can't be in the ring thinking about anything other than the person that you're competing against because they try and knock your block off in there. This ain't wrestling. It's not WWE. This shit is not fake.
facts, facts. Um, this is a fight that pop. In my eyes, logically, I don't see it happening. But it's a big topic of discussion. It's a guy that you want to fight. But Javante Tank Davis. Um, you know, he mentioned that he would knock out Terence Crawford. I think at the end of the statement he said, "Just kidding," but it is a big fight. When it comes to money. But
That'll be but
logically in your eyes, is this a good matchup?
I mean, Tank and
Terrence
Bud.
Crawford. Yeah.
I mean, it'll be a good matchup to make some money to get to the bag. Yeah, it'll be a good matchup to get to the bag. Um, who do I think will win in that fight? I don't know. I think Terrence. I think if that fight was to happen, I think honestly Terrence would keep his ass right there at the end. He'll box Tank, make Tank run in the shit. You know what I'm saying? Make Tank run in the shit.
Keep Tank at the end of his stick.
Keep Tank at the end of the stick. Make Tank run in the stuff. Unless and now you also got to take in that Tank is a heavy puncher. He can make Tank running. But if hypothetically if Turner is overzealous or something like that, and gets a little too overzealous, Tank has the ability to change the fight though. So you got to take that into consideration as well.
Right. Um, like I know that in the same time, do you ever see yourself, you know, calling out Terrence Crawford for a fight?
Well, we've been there, done that.
That wasn't a fight, Gary.
Nah, well, nah,
That was a Charlo.
nah.
That
When
was a Caleb Plant and Charlo smack. That's what it was, wasn't it?
hey, it's so funny because it was pretty much like that. Charlo didn't attempt to do anything back, and Terrence didn't either. But no, that was I'm talking after that. When after that was done, and we was talking over the media, I'm like, shit, we could meet at the catchweight if you wanted to make a fight happen.
Mm.
Nothing materialized. I was serious though.
I
Nothing materialized.
I never seen that video. I don't know if there is a video, but obviously people were talking about it. What was that all about anyway?
What was what all about?
You and Terrence.
Man, it's old news, man. It's water under the bridge.
That was
Um,
what, years ago?
yeah, it was years ago. We was at the Olympic Training Center. Man, it was a long time. Somebody brought up some old shit that if I was really that type of person, it would have been out there to the public. But somebody brought up some old stuff, and they said that I broke his jaw or something. I was like, listen, I don't know about all that. I didn't know about his jaw being broke, but no, that actually did happen.
Oh, it was a punch. It wasn't a slap.
Yeah, nah, it wasn't no slap, but
Oh.
it was. When they asked me about it back when, I told people, I said when it happened, we was at the Olympic Training Center. We was at the peak of our amateur career. We was the best of the best at that time, and now y'all bringing this shit up,
Oh,
and
you
it's
guys were
at least,
amateurs?
and it's at least still good to know that what I'm saying at the top of the food chain even now.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was you guys were it was that far behind. But
Yeah, it
nevertheless,
was a long time. We was in the amateurs, you know what I'm saying, and they just it was an old folk tale that was going on. You know what I'm saying? An old whisper that was going on, and somebody got wind of it. Like, hey, Garry punched Terence in the face, and they got to sending that shit all over, and then they got blew up. But it is what it is.
Understand. So going off of a title that a lot of people wanted to see, you and Inoue mix it up. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't want to give Inoue his just dues. Um,
I
and
like
then
anyway. That's the monster, right?
yeah, I like when I interviewed you the first time. The first thing you said is, "I want to fight Shorty." You know what I'm saying? Like I was asking you for your prediction for Fulton and him, but the first thing that came to your mind was you want to fight him, and I'm like, Gary a real one because he really trying to show the world what he's all about.
Mm-hmm. The only problem is he at 26. I don't plan on fighting at 26.
Mm. Now, you wouldn't even go to you. First of all, would you even go to Japan?
Fuck yeah, I go out there. Ass whippers universal, man. It don't matter where we at.
He said, "Ass whoopings are universal."
Ass whippers universal. It don't matter where we at. Only problem was when it's crazy. All the people I wanted to fight that I really wanted, I ain't get a chance. I wanted Donaire. I ain't get a chance to fight Donaire. I wanted Reagandown. I ain't get a chance to fight Reagandown. Shit, who else I wanted? It was another guy that I wanted when he was hot. He was hot. I think his name was Lopez. Look, it was somebody else I wanted when he was hot. I can't think of him. And
But
I
the first,
definitely I wanted to fight him too. I wanted to fight him too, but he was at like 118 at the time. Cause it's
oh
like
no,
now I ain't.
You wanted to fight Santa Cruz.
I wanted to fight Leo Santa Cruz, but it was somebody else before Leo Santa Cruz who I wanted to fight. This one I was like
Adam,
really up and
he,
coming. It was,
not
it
Adam
was
Lopez, right?
no, no, no. It was somebody else that I wanted before Leo. Damn, I cannot think of his name. Mm-mm-mm.
So
Damn.
tell me, when I first interviewed you and you gave me your prediction on you know Fulton and Inoue, you did tell me you felt like Inoue's gonna get him, but
Yeah.
in your head, why did you want to fight him? Because obviously it's because you wanted to expose him, obviously. So
Abner, hey, somebody just said Abner Mod. Yeah, I wanted to get Abner too. But I don't think it was Abner. Was it Abner Mars? Was it Abner? It probably was Abner. Nah. No, it fucking wasn't. It wasn't Abner either, y'all. Damn, it was somebody else, man. Mm-mm-mm.
so tell me, what was your reasonings of really wanting to fight, Inoue? Like, what did you see?
Nah, I mean he a little dog. And he's even handed. I feel like he's gonna be a force. I feel like he's gonna be a little force to be reckoned with. Um And then I really wanted to fight him when he fought Donaire. I was pissed because I wanted Donaire. I really wanted to fight him then, but they was at a smaller weight. I thought I wanted to fight anybody that I felt as though was fucking good.
Hmm.
Anybody that I felt as though was good or was nice, I wanted him. Man, shit. Let me see what I can do with him. I can beat him. I can bust his ass.
What is your reaction to that fight with Fulton and Inoue?
I mean, I didn't really have a reaction. I felt like that's what the outcome was going to be. I was hoping that it wasn't because I like Fulton. I know Fulton personally. I liked him. I wanted him to win. I want
Hmm.
somebody that I know to win.
I remember that.
But
You kept it 100 though.
I felt like the outcome. I felt like that was going to be the outcome.
Um.
I feel like somebody to beat Inoue, you have to have swag. You
Mm,
gotta have swag, and you gotta have. Not only do you gotta have swag, you gotta have a little fuck you behind your shit. You gotta have something to make them respect
some
coming in
pop.
there. You
Okay.
gotta have some pop. You got that melanin, man. Melanin, the bad boy. Melanin, the bad boy. They say we call it, well, melanated people call it swag, but it get your melanin is a it gives you information. It also gives you access to a different form of energy, a different form of rhythm. That's why most black people or melanated people, we got a different bounce. We got a different movement with us. You know what I'm saying? It's not the
Especially the
average
head nod.
movement that you would get.
That the
You know what I'm
head nod is
saying?
different, even when
Yeah.
dancing and
Even
everything.
dancing. Now it's not just with dancing, it's in basketball, it's in boxing, it's in all
Yep.
of that shit. It's a different rhythm. We move on a different frequency than most people. You gotta have that, and you gotta have a little fuck you. You gotta have a level of defensive discipline, and you gotta have some pop. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to make him question coming in there, because when he do come in there, you countering the shit that he's throwing, and he's running in the shit, and you making it. Hold up,
You seen Gamboa,
hey,
right? You're like,
yeah. You know what I'm saying? You making them question running in the shit. That's the shit that
you just come in and out because that sometimes that happens. Ladies and gentlemen, we got 109 people on the live with 56 likes. This is Mill City Boxing, home of the high level pro boxing media. Please, hit the appreciation button, man. Let's get this up. Let's get these likes up, man. Let's get this channel moving. Let's get more views into this channel. This is one of the most underrated boxing channels that I believe, and I'm glad to be able to get you guys this great content. This is Garry Russell Jr., and he'll definitely be tapping in real shortly. He probably got like a little phone call, whatever the case may be. But while we waiting, guys, we got 112 people on the live, so we might as well just get these likes up. So my man Garry will come on. That's probably what Gary's doing. He's seeing that the likes are low, so he's like, I ain't gonna come back in the ring into the room until these likes are up. So let's turn up, man, and let's get these likes up, man. Come on, at least 80 to 100. Let's get them all up, man. Um, Let me know what you guys think. You know what I'm saying? Super chats are always welcome, man. Definitely tap in with us, man. Step it up with these likes, man. We almost at 70. Come on. Let's get them up, ladies and gentlemen. If you like this channel, if you rocking with this channel, if you want me to do more interviews in this channel, I got Garry right here right now, so you might as well get these up right now. Garry right here. Let's get these likes up to 80 to 100. Let's go. Let's get them all up. We had 100 people, and we can get 100 likes.
all right, there we go. I'm back. I'm back.
My
My
man.
service messed up.
Now you good money, brother. So, you was talking about the melanin. We were talking about,
Yeah.
in your way
I
specifically.
was just saying you'll need swag. You know what I'm saying? You'll need some swag because our rhythm offsets them. Our rhythm, head faint, shit like that, our rhythm stuff like that offsets them. You know what I'm saying? You need a certain level of defensive discipline, and you need some pop. You need some agileness. You need to have the ability to make him run in the shots. The more you make him start running in the shots, the less likely he's gonna start jumping in there.
Mm. Now tell me,
I want to
in that,
Oscar Valdez. I want to Oscar Valdez too, but that ain't who it is, y'all.
yo,
Damn,
you seen Oscar Valdez versus Navarrete?
man, that shit's crazy.
Talk to me.
Hey, don't even one of them want no parts of me.
That stylistically, Oscar Valdez is not a good matchup. You know what I'm saying? His feet, his load up of his punches, the way you're too sharp. So I would definitely put my money on you for sure. Um,
Burn that ass up.
yeah, that'd be easy. I would like that fight for you, just because when it comes to like Black Americans and Mexicans get a good pay, they get good numbers.
Uh
Um,
huh.
so
Black on Frampton.
what's your reaction to that fight? You know what I'm saying? That was the
To which
Mexican
what fight?
showdown, huh?
Which one?
Navarrete and Oscar Valdez.
I think it was. I ain't had no reaction to it. My react. Hey, now that right there, that's who I want right there. I want him.
Pitbull.
That right there, I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't even gonna lie. That'll be a great comeback fight.
That would be a great comeback fight. What do you think about him and Tank doing the rematch though?
Now, Mikey, say it again.
What do you think about him and Tank doing the rematch though?
Him and Tank, he was in Tank ass.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Tank ass. They rematching? They
They're
supposed to
rematching.
rematch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, that'll be a good one. Tank
Yeah.
better be on this shit.
I
Tank
didn't
better
like
be on this
Pitbull's
shit.
last performance with Giovanni Cabrera.
Yeah, I know. I know. They looking sweet.
But
They looking sweet.
but you and Navarrete fight, I think that would be it would sell.
Yeah, with that, they had what, 30?
Yeah, 30. He already got a lot of accolades. He's in his third division, being champion in three divisions already. The Mexican people stand behind him, especially after demolishing Oscar Valdez.
Hmm. I mean, yeah, you can call it a demolition, I guess. They look like Rock'em Sock'em robots to me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
But I mean, yeah, I guess. I was thinking more like 35.
35. You really trying to be in that 35. Now what's the reasoning of, your last fight was at 26, correct? With Mark?
Yeah.
What's the reasoning of skipping a weight class? Is it you feel better at 35
I mean, I
or
feel
the
strong
papers
as
there?
I feel strong as shit at 35.
Is it more of the business or is it you
Um,
or a little both?
both. A little bit of
Yeah.
both. A little bit of both.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? A little bit of both. Make them fight. A little bit of both. I feel I feel strong as shit at 35. Everybody, all the smoke at 35. I feel like I need to just drop my name back. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just drop me in the middle of this shit.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Who gonna be the first one to test my shoulder out? Who gonna be the first one to test out this shoulder?
Now there's been talks of Frank Martin fighting Shakur Stevenson. What do you see in that fight?
Uh, which one is Frank Martin? Forgive me,
Frank
y'all.
Frank Martin, the ghost, the guy that is working with Derek James and the Spence camp.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I like Shakur.
You like Shakur?
Yeah, I like Shakur. I like Shakur.
Do you like Shakur over Tank?
Yeah, I like Shakur over Tank. I like Shakur over Tank too.
What do you think in Shakur as far as at the 35 division? Do you think he's at the when it comes to technically sound? In your eyes, do you think he's the best 135 pounder?
Not if I'm in the division.
Mm.
Um, not if I'm in the division. Um, excluding myself, I think he is. Excluding myself, that's the only person that I would say, okay, I think he can beat this guy. I think he can probably beat this guy. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about winning. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about winning. Tank goes out here, he wins fights, but if you really pay attention to it, Tank be losing first 5, 6, 7 rounds until he hits somebody. So he got to get lucky or something like that. You know, I pay attention to a certain level of control that you have when you're in the ring.
Okay,
That's what matters.
that's what you
That's
pay
what
attention
matters.
to. Yep.
I pay attention to the level of control in which that you have when you're in the ring. My last fight, my shoulder was fucked up. I couldn't do nothing
I
with
remember
this
that.
arm anyway. But I still had full control of everything that was going on in the motherfucking ring. He had two arms. I still dictated what he could and couldn't do based upon my movements, my offset rhythms, and everything else. That shit makes a difference. I think Shakur has a way of maintaining control.
Mm.
You
Now,
know,
if you fought,
that's
if you fought Shakur, how would you be able to get him off of his game plan? How would you stop the controlling factor in his behalf?
we worked before.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we worked before.
let's go viral. Talk to me. You smiling while you saying, "Let's go viral right now."
See, so this the thing, right? I like Shakur. You know what I'm saying? I honestly, I like Shorty, and it's never nothing personal with majority of these guys anyway. No, I like Shorty, but I don't think they want it. You know what I'm saying? Like back when he was coming up, I think Andre Ward said it. He's like, yeah, Gary, somebody we'll stay away from. It's levels above being a champion. A lot of people don't understand that or might not get that shit.
Mm.
How you been? I'm good. I'm doing an interview. I'm gonna swing past.
So
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
to me about that work. I mean,
I mean, it was good work. He actually spoke about it. I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? I ain't going to jump Shorty out there like that, but he actually spoke on it. You know, it was an interview in which that he did, and they was asking him about me possibly fighting Tank. You know, and he told him he kept it 100. He said, "Man, I worked with both of them, and the hardest I ever been hit was by a right hook by Mr. Garry Russell.
mm,
I mean, I like he come down, he get work. He work with my little brother too. He gave Antoine some work. You know, they come and get good work. I like Shorty. I think he a little man.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? I think he a little man. But if it came down to it and they line this little ass up across from you, then he can get it too. You know what I'm
right.
saying? But realistically, I personally don't think that him or his team would would want want to fight us. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? I think we're too much. We'll be too much of a threat or too risky. Anyway, I think I'll probably be the only one that they would consider as too fucking risky to go up there and motherfucking jump out there and fight. But as far as anybody else in the division goes, I think he'll run through 'em.
mm. Nico Dinero, thank you for the super chat. Gary, you nice, but with due time, this is Tank's era. What you have to say about that?
I mean, in due time, you're probably right. But if he fight me right now, then I'll beat his ass.
Mm,
If he fight me within the next year or two, I will beat that ass. And your favorite fighter be in his feelings.
mm,
Facts. He can't do shit with me. I promise you that. I have him. They're fucking around. Probably want to throw the towel in or some shit like that because I'm embarrassing him. I would embarrass Tank. All that one to swing hard punches and all that shit. You can get away with that shit with flat-footed fighters. You're not gonna do that shit with somebody that's truly skilled at this shit. I was a world champion before he was a fucking professional fighter. That's experience. That shit means something. I would embarrass Tank.
mm. I talked to both of your brothers, and the ones that box, and is it Antoni? The one with
Antonio.
the fro, not the 40
Yeah,
pounder, the lighter one.
Antonio.
Yeah, he told me he was roommates with Tank. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, you got to be talking about Antonio.
Right? Yeah, Antonio. Yep, exactly, Antonio. So
Now, I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna go ahead, get your Israel, because
no, 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 no.
I don't want you to throw my little brother under the bus, like, you know what I'm saying. Now, if we talking about fighting, me fighting Tank, then cool beans. I stand behind all that shit. But if you gonna come up here and say something that my little brother said about Tank, I ain't gonna buy that.
No, no, no. To be honest with you, I wasn't even gonna throw him under the bus like that.
All right,
Um,
go ahead, get your issue off.
no, but he told me that he went to the amateurs with Tank. And he also has he also has Inoue beaten Tank in a fight. What do you think about that matchup with Inoue and Tank?
Honestly,
Boom, guys.
t-
See, my man,
hey,
you're out right now. Come in and come out. Gary he shut it off because he looked at 81 likes with 122 people here. So he said, "I got to get off. I'm not gonna answer no more questions until these likes come up." You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Gary. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Guys, get these likes up. Let's be honest, man. You see we throwing the heat. We see we cooking right now. So, I only got a couple more questions for, Gary before he can get on his day. I see he's with the kids and all that. But guys, get these likes up. Come on and get some super chats. My man's right here. He's in the room. But I need the likes up so we can continue this. Let's get it. Come on, let's stay cooking. Man gonna come back. He coming back. Let's get these likes up. Yep. You already know. So talk to me about that matchup.
I
Inoue and
mean,
Tank.
I think I think it'll be a 50-50 jump.
That's a 50-50. Hmm. Why you say
That's the
that?
monster, right? That's you talking about the monster, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think 50-50. I think it's
Why you
50-50
why you say that?
because I mean, contrary to what everybody might think, Tank is not a great boxer. He's
Mm.
decent. He's a decent boxer with good pop, but he's not a good boxer. You know what I'm saying? I think Tank is a flat-footed fighter for one, and I think
I
it's
don't see
gonna take
flat feet.
not. He's not. He's a slow-footed fight. He's slow on his feet. He's not flat-footed.
Okay.
Kind of slower. If you was to compare Tank to, like you say, a Shakur, you would say he's flat-footed. If you
Yeah.
would compare Tank to somebody
To a
like me,
Lomachenko.
to you would say he's flat-footed. If you compare Tank to someone like me, you'll say he's flat-footed. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like so. I wouldn't. I get what you're saying that he's not flat-footed, but he's not like quick, like a quick on his feet type person. He needs to plant. He needs to plant to actually start delivering punches. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna move. You know what I'm saying? The jab, but when he's time to fire, he needs to plant to deliver his shots effectively. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see what you mean by that because he's
Yeah,
winning fights doing that way. He's knocking motherfuckers out by planting his feet.
that's true. That's true. He is knocking people out by planting his feet. But the thing is, he's knocking people out that's defensively flawed. He's knocking people out that was at first he was knocking motherfuckers out that was way smaller than him. Then he fought people that was bigger. You know what I'm saying? He fought somebody that was bigger than him. He still has pop. He got pop. But if you not blocking this shit, then what the fuck? If you fight somebody that's defensively flawed and he's a straightforward fighter, he's tailor made to you. All I gotta do is hit this motherfucker one or two times. You're not gonna get that same outcome from somebody that's quick on their fucking feet. from somebody that's always giving you movement, from somebody that's, you know what I'm saying, gonna be putting a fucking jab in your face instead of trying to go blow for blow with you. You're not gonna get that same outcome. You're not gonna get that same fucking outcome. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
I
with
can see
some
why you're saying this with that matchup. I can see
right,
what you're
with
saying
someone
with that
like
matchup.
Inoue, with the monster, guess what? He's not gonna stand fucking flat footed. He's quick on his feet than Tank. He's gonna be moving, he's gonna jab, he's gonna move, and guess what? He's slicker than Tank too. And he can pop. So let him get the moving. He can make Tank run into shit. You know what I'm saying? And he has the ability to hurt Tank.
Mm,
He has the ability to hurt Tank, and he has the ability to make Tank run into shit. Tank has the ability to hurt him and get him up out of there because he can thump. You know what I'm saying? But as far as everything else, as far as all the other shit lays in Inoue's favor. The only thing that lays in Tank favor is the fact that he hits hard. Hopefully he can
mm,
hit him. Hopefully he can catch him because he's bigger and this guy moving up in weight. Now let's
right.
look at the skill factor of that shit. Now, when you take all the other factors of the components of what Inoue brings into the ring versus what Tank brings into the ring, all motherfuckers gonna say Tank brings to the ring is that he hit hard. Now, when you got
Mm.
somebody else that naturally hit fucking hard too, but he got some other shit in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that Tank opposes like he opposes a lot of different things in his game, but I can see what you're saying upon the matchup.
That matchup
Styles make fights, and
styles definitely make
he's
fight.
Inoue's a fast, choppy, thumping power without needing to plant his feet. So I can
There
see
you go.
what you're saying, and he got
And
slick.
and and just like I say, when you say styles make fights, you got to remember Tank also said when he was now it you're a champion. It's no level bigger than the champion, you would think, right?
Hmm.
He's a champion, but when they asked him about fighting Lomachenko, he said, "Well, I don't want to fight him yet because I don't think I'm ready. Because you're a champion. What the fuck you mean you're not ready?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So that foot movement, that lateral movement, that in and out movement, all that shit would give him problems. He had problems. Tanker had problems with that.
I got two more fight predictions, Gary, just to get your thoughts on it because I can understand that. I understand what you say when it comes down to matchups because I was an amateur fighter with 13 fights. I've been in the ring with a lot of different people. Never been pro, but styles make fights, you know what I'm saying? I've been an athlete my whole life. Um so coming into this, guys, get the likes up. We got 89 likes with 131 people on the live. So, Gary, these two matchups, I want to hear your thought on it. The
These
first
gotta be the
one,
last. These gotta be the last two drinks because I gotta pull my play, fellas.
last two, okay. Last 2 points is a future fight at the 140 division. A lot of people want to talk about big names at the 140 division, and that's Haney and Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez. Who do you have winning in that matchup?
Uh,
Your boy Gordo with the
mm,
ho- with the homie
from
Dev
what I
Dollar.
from what I seen from what I seen from Devin and Lomachenko, Gordo got a good shot. If Gordo mash the gas, if Gordo's in shape and he can mash the gas for about 9 rounds, a solid 9 rounds, I think he can get him. I think Gordo will probably get Devin.
Why do you lean towards Gordo?
Because when Devin shown that when someone applies a certain level of pressure, you know what I'm saying? When when someone shows a certain level of pressure, I ain't gonna say he fold under pressure, but he's not comfortable with dealing with that shit. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Hmm.
He's not comfortable with dealing with it in a certain type of way. And I
You
think
talk
that,
about when
and
Loma had him in the corner.
I mean, not just when Loma had him in the corner. I'm just saying, just when a person applied a certain amount of pressure.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And with volumes of punches, and applying pressure with a volume of punches, he's not comfortable with dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? It shows in his game, you know what I'm saying, a little bit.
Mm,
So I think if Gordo can be in shape and can like really start mashing the gas early, you know what I'm saying? Start mashing the gas early, he can probably get Tank. I mean probably get Devin.
mm. You think the punch is the big factor in that fight? Tio's punch.
Uh I think Gordo got a I think he's a bigger puncher than Haney. I think he's a bigger puncher than Haney. But
Absolutely.
I don't. Yeah, I think he's a bigger puncher than Haney for sure. I think it'll play. It could definitely play a factor with the if his defense ain't up to par too.
Mm. You believe that in the same time you think that Gordo Teofimo Lopez had a better outing with Lomachenko?
Say it again.
Do you think that Teo had a better outing with Lomachenko than Haney did?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mm. Last prediction here. It's gonna be Demetrius Boo Boo Andres versus David Benavidez, the monster. Stylistically, Boo Boo Andres was the guy that I came up in the amateurs with and the Golden Gloves with. What do you think about that matchup?
Man, I don't know why y'all doing this to me, man. I feel the same way I feel about Fulton and Inoue.
And
And I don't want to.
Inoue happens to be the Mexican monster. Instead of the Japanese monster, the Mexican monster. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, the monster. The same way I felt about. Yeah, so I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I like Boo Boo. Boo Boo, my dog. Now that's one of my teammates. That's one of my Olympic, you know what I'm saying, teammates. That's my. I like him. I like him personally. I want him to win.
Hmm.
I would want him to win, but I don't got him beating Benavidez. I don't got him winning.
How does it end?
Man, that shit could end bad. Possibly, it could end bad. Boo Boo. This the thing, man. Boo Boo can fight. Boo Boo can fight, man. He got some shit with him. He got good game. He got good things in his arsenal, man. But I feel like Benavidez is just gonna be too fucking overwhelming. I think he's too fucking over. He's gonna be too overwhelming, man.
Body shot, headshot, KO.
I don't that now that out. Look, I ain't already said. I think my man gonna lose. I ain't saying nothing else about my man. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. And the thing is, I want him to win. Like, I hope he do. I swear I hope he do. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go for the home team all day, but I gotta keep it real with myself and to the people, whether they like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Whether he like it or not. You know what I'm saying? I hope he can get this joint, but I don't know about this one, dog.
a little biting up a little bit more than what he can chew. He just coming into the 168 division. He fought Lamont Peterson. I mean, what am I talking about? Damon Nicholson, and this is not no
And
Damon Nicholson.
yeah, and to be honest with you, just like I gave criticism to Boots on that particular fight because I felt like he didn't fight up to his potential on that particular fight.
Got to keep it 100 with Boo Boo too.
Boo Boo, I felt like he won that fight, but I ain't feel like he fought up to his fucking potential that fight either. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a fight that hopefully his coach was like, "Hey, listen, this." You know what I'm saying? Should have been a whole bunch of this shit and a whole bunch of back in the gym shit. You know,
You
so
Do you think that it's because Demetrius has a great three first rounds and tends to coast the rest of the fight, not letting his
I don't,
hands go?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm only speaking on that one particular fight that I was talking about. Um, I don't know, man. And in the amateurs, he was doing his thing, man. I mean,
Yeah.
and I still like him personally. I still think he can make his niche in the professionals as well. But I think this Benavidez right here, this going I got Benavidez on this jump. If I had to bet, if I had to drop some money, I'd drop it on Benavidez. You know what I'm
Fair
saying?
enough. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
fair
Fair
enough.
enough.
Yeah.
Well, Gary, I appreciate your time, man. You broke down so many different fights. I'm pretty sure that you dropped a whole bunch of gems that a lot of people are going to be able to pick up. Last minute thoughts. You can shout out your social media at well, and yeah, just let everybody know where they can find you, and last minute words as well.
My last minute word, stay tuned. We be back. We be back soon, man. We trying to make something shake by the end of this year. Like I said, at my little younger brother fight, nothing set in stone, but we definitely planning on bullying around some of these bigger guys. We definitely moving up in weight, you know.
Mm.
So we definitely moving up in weight for sure. Yeah, I don't really be on the social media like that. But if y'all really want to find me, I'm just on Instagram at Mr. Garry Russell Jr.
Well, you already know, man. God bless, and on to the next, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I appreciate your time.
Come on, be easy.
You already know. Well, there it is, guys. This is Garry Russell Jr., one of the good ones. Great interview. Please, guys, before you leave, man, hit the appreciation button. We got 119 people here with 95 likes. We've been rocking for 91 minutes now. What's y'all thoughts on the Jermell Charlo versus you know uh Canelo Alvarez fight? I would like to know what y'all think about that fight in the comment box as well. What y'all think about Terence Crawford, fighting the winner of that fight? What's your thoughts on that? You know what I'm saying? I could rock with y'all for a few more minutes. I'll only rock with y'all for a few more minutes if I can get 100 likes. If I can get 100 likes, I will definitely rock with y'all for a few more minutes. But if I can't get 100, then I might have to let this interview go and just post this right now. Um, I'm trying to be able to give you guys the best content on YouTube. That's the goal. We have hit, 10,000 subscribers, and we're on our way to make 20,000 subscribers. All these casual fans and questions and mismatches. Um, at the end of the day, there are a lot of casual fans, but it doesn't mean that a casual fan can't turn into a hardcore fan. I believe that in this game, when it comes to being a fighter, being a fan, we're all students of the game. So the longer that you love the sport, the longer that pay attention to it. Thank you, Swift. I appreciate it. We're going to be having Teofimo Lopez Sr. up tonight. I'm also going to be having Antonio Tarver on today as well. So stay tuned. I got a lot of hot content coming up. We're going to be having Sugar Shane Mosley on as well this week. We have a whole bunch of fighters coming in, from legends to prospects to contenders. I mean, we're really going to be bringing in a lot more heat for y'all. I appreciate everybody also that has shown me love in this channel, regardless of hitting the appreciation button, you know, hitting the hitting the comment box, hitting the super chat. I mean, I appreciate everybody. You know what I'm saying? I will be more engaged to some of the super chat questions. Showing love to the channel, making sure that this hard work is being kept for real, for real. Um, Tarver gonna keep it real. I don't know about them other guys. Definitely Tarver keep it real. I love the way he breaks down the game as well. He's coaching. He's just him beating. You know what I'm saying? Roy Jones Jr. It's just on another level. I would love to see Garry Russell versus Shakur Stevenson. Yeah, I mean, let me tell you something about that fight. I want to see Shakur fight anybody. I want to see that's my guy too. Shakur, I just talked to him yesterday. To be honest with you, he's not doing interviews right now because he's really focused in the gym with Jay Prince and my guy Jay. Um, but we're gonna be actually tapping in real soon. Real soon. I'm a big Shakur fan, a supporter. I'm a big Tank fan and supporter. I'm a big Teofimo Lopez fan and supporter. I support a lot of the best fighters that I like to watch. I don't, I'm not gonna tell you here. I watch boxing every day. I watched the Zone yesterday. You know what I'm saying? All the contenders that they had from Nestor Bravo to my guy Elijah Flores yesterday. There were some great fights. I watch fights. I'm not one of these guys that will watch boxing once a month, twice a month, three times. No, I watch boxing every week. And when there's not, I watch boxing every day. I'm gonna be honest with you. I watch boxing every day. Uh, I'm a boxing coach. I was a former amateur, so I just love to stay in tune to different styles. I bet on boxing. I put money on boxing. So if I don't stay in tune to different styles, and who's up to date, age is a big thing. This is a young man's sport, so you have to continue to just stay in tune to boxing. Is very important. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be getting into all these comments as well, guys, because I appreciate and love all my subscribers. I think that y'all just rocking with me is mad love. Make sure you guys hit the like button as well. Tank's first interview will break Shakur and Haney's ticket sales. Yo, let me tell you something. I was telling Coach Kenny the other day. I said Tank's in Tank's first workout segment content of him just working out in the gym is going to hit like 2 million views. You know what I'm saying? Tank is definitely like I believe that Tank has so many casual fans and hardcore fans. You put that together, Tank is definitely a superstar. You know what I'm saying? He got the hip hop community around him. I think that Shakur Stevenson is on his way. I think Devin Haney is growing to be that same guy. Um, a lot of people believe that I don't like Devin Haney. I like Devin Haney. I think he's great for the sport when it comes to matchups with Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis or Teofimo Lopez, I'm not putting my money on them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do that. But do I like the other matchups? I think him and Regis is a good fight. I think that he has all the capabilities to beat Regis. But I like Regis. Regis is my boy. You know what I'm saying? I want Regis to win? Yeah. I mean, I don't really. When it comes down to some of these fights, I go off of what I'm gonna make money off of. To be honest with you, um, all this sympathy, like yeah, I do some interviews with these guys, but I don't got like a personal relationship with some of these guys to be like, yo, I really need you to win. I need you to win, or you're never gonna like. I'm not gang banging here. Like I'm not here trying to. It's not. Some of these guys be so soft sometimes. You know what I mean? When it comes down to rooting for your favorite fighter, yo, you could win or you could lose. It could happen. Flores versus Ellie last night was a good fight, but why so early? Let me tell you, I want to see more of that, champion. To be honest with you, I want to see more young guys. You know what I'm saying? We had a 19-year-old and 20-year-old happen to have the same name. They both had braids. The resumes were so crazy. They were both undefeated with like 6 fights. That was nice to see. I want to see more of that. Do I believe that it was too early? That was MVP Promotions yesterday. That held that fight. So what I believe is that you can't. I want to see more of that in boxing. To be honest with you, I want to see more guys have 100 fights. I want to see guys lose and win, rematch, come back. I want to see more trilogies. I want to see more of that, and I think that that's what we're missing in boxing. To be honest with you, Elijah from my city, Orlando. Elijah's a great fighter. I think that this was a learning curve from them. I'm gonna actually have him on the channel as well. I hit him up last night, congratulating him on the fight. You bet on Bud and Spence. Yes, I didn't bet on that fight because I thought, to be honest with you, to keep it 100 with y'all, I didn't know. I was doing interviews, and a whole bunch of fighters were telling me that yo, Terrence Crawford was physically strong because of the wrestling background. And I gotta stay more in tune to some of the interviews that I do and listen to what they say. And y'all do too. If any of y'all bet on boxing, stay in tune to certain things. I didn't. Sometimes it's hard to figure out if these guys are being biased on their favorite fighter, the guy that they train with, versus the truth. Happened to be that Terrence Crawford was really physically strong, and if I knew that he was going to be just as physical as Spence, I wouldn't have called it a 50-50 fight because I had Terrence winning. Everybody knows on my channel for the past 3 years, I've had Terrence Crawford winning. There's no flip flopping, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I was one of those ones that said that Keith Thurman is a harder task stylistically for Terrence Crawford due to the fact that his footwork. I'm big on footwork. I'm a type of person that I remember when I first started boxing, they didn't even let me put on a pair of gloves for a whole month. It was all, and then when I didn't put the pair on, they gave me one. They gave me my left hand, and they put one glove on, and I had to work on the jab for like 4 days before I started the two. So I'm big on footwork. Um, Keith gets stopped just like the rest. Well, let me tell you something about Keith. Keith has gotten hurt, but in the same time, Keith has not um laid down. He's gotten hurt with Pacquiao. He's gotten hurt with Barrios, but it's not about it's what you do after you get hurt. Let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. Let's be honest. When we looked at Ryan Garcia, he got hit in the stomach. It took him a little bit of time for him to react to the pain. Could if he had gotten up, that's one thing. You know what I'm saying? You got to dig deep in this sport. So it's about when you do get hurt, how do you come up from it? When Ryan Garcia got hit by a Luke Campbell and fell down, I believe he wasn't hurt. I think that was just like a misstep. It's like when Teofimo got hit by Cambosis, it was a misstep. It's about what you do after. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the ring to understand of getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? And it's about what you do. People curl up, bro. There's been times I've sparred. I call them monkeys. That is like you hit them and then they fall down. It's like, bro, I didn't knock you out. Stop playing. I didn't knock you out. You just don't want no more of this. And then what they do is they get back up, but they curl up. You know what I'm saying? They curl up. That's not a front runner. A front runner is that they try to pull in some shit and they try to give you all your all for the first 2 rounds. Uh, But when you a softy, you're gonna get hit. You're gonna curl up, and I try to figure out what some of those guys is like. Why are you even boxing? Are you boxing because you want to tell everybody in your high school that you're boxing? You got you finally got a girlfriend because of boxing? Like, why are you in this sport? Are you a real dog? Or are you one of these guys that pull up, want to learn the art, tell everybody that you boxing, the quote unquote tough guy? You know what I'm saying? I'm not for it. I remember me being in high school as an amateur boxer. I didn't want to tell nobody. But every single time my principal, when I would win a fight in the Golden Gloves, and it would be on the paper, it would be on the newspaper, and everybody would just be like, "Oh, George Torres was, he just won another fight in the Golden Gloves." I was like, "Oh man, I know someone's gonna want to test me." So, I fought one time in high school and that was all they wrote. Nobody wanted to do it anymore. So let's get to some of these comments, man, because I rock with y'all for real, for real. I'm going for Frank versus Martin. You talking about who am I going for? Um, Speak the truth. You already know. Salute to everybody on the chat. When it comes to Tank versus William Cepeda, Cepeda's limited. You know what I'm saying? Cepeda could punch. He's a good fighter. He ain't a great fighter. He's still undefeated. If you look at his resume, he ain't really fought nobody. You know what I'm saying? I think that his lateral movement is horrible. I think that he's a north south type of a fighter, and I think that when you fight Tank, a lot of people don't understand that Tank has great lateral movement. That's why when I talked to Gary and we were talking about footwork, I had to disagree right away. I said that you know Tank's feet aren't slow. Tank feet, he's not flat footed because he's not. Let's be honest. He sets up these traps because of his footwork. You know what I'm saying? And yes, he has a heavy punch. But the key thing is that when it's what's important is when you set your punch, you set your feet and how fast you set your feet to be able to time things, because you only have, in boxing you got milliseconds to be able to react. So what makes Tank great with his, not just his punching power, but his timing with his feet and what he sees as far as downloading data. People don't want to break these things down. Those are the things that I believe why Tank is good. That's why when they say he's a boxer, he's a pure boxer. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all smash the like button like you was smashing your girlfriend last night or your wifey. You know what I'm saying? Much love to everybody on the chat. I'm gonna be continuing these comments because I see that we rocking with each other right now. So I love it. You know what I'm saying? Crawford is older than Canelo. Yeah, but Canelo started at 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by 16, he started his boxing career before that, but he turned pro at 16. So that being said, he's been in there with bigger, older men. And then if you really go into when you go to Mexico to in the gym, it's like war. These gym sparrings are like war. So you got to take that accountability of like how much head drama. I mean, let's be honest. If you look at Canelo Alvarez's nose right now, it's crooked. You know what I'm saying? And that's because, what I'm saying, it's boxing. You're gonna get hit. You're gonna get touched. And you're gonna get rocked. So that's just the reason why Tank didn't set his feet when he knocked out Rolly. But doesn't mean that Rolly was coming into the punch. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing that a lot of people don't understand is that when you look at Tank, right? He's small. He's built like a tank, right? Just like Canelo. Canelo's built like a tank for 168, right? So he's small. He's very impact. So when you guys like Rolly, guys like Ryan, like, look at this little mother, and they're like, I'm gonna go get him. What happens to be that is that he's wanting you to step in. When he sees you step in and out, it's real simple, right? You're boxing him. This is Tank. You're the opponent. You're coming in. All he does is he goes lateral. Boom. Now you have to readjust. When he readjusts, you can go this way. Just like a basketball player, when you're crossing over to the left, you want to make your opponent go here so you can go here. Same thing in boxing. When you have great lateral movement, you want people to step where you want them to step. And then from there, you choose what hand you want to target with them. You know what I'm saying? And Tank, he hits with both hands. So him setting traps is very dangerous when it comes down to the game. Pay attention to that. That's so when you look at Tank, he looks like a small fighter, but he packs a big, big punch. He's very twitchy as well. Like same thing with Jaron Ennis, very twitchy. That twitch is different. What Gary was talking about, flavor and head movement and the movement of what a black fighter has, what a Puerto Rican fighter has. You know what I'm saying? We have this type of a movement, and then when you add that twitchiness, it disrupts your movement, and it turns into something real smooth to twitchy, and then you get sidetracked. So, with that being said, movement in boxing is very important. It goes with your timing, and if you can't even rock with someone's movement, he gonna time you easily. So, head feints, foot feints, you could do both feints at the same time. There's just so much in boxing that can disrupt you from what you want. That's why when you go fight internationally, it's tough. I never fought internationally. I never did. But you could just see if you look on TV, different styles. Europeans, they do something that's called fencing. They have their hand out a little bit more out. That's what I like about Anthony Joshua right now is that Derrick James got him a little more tight. His hand positioning is a lot tighter. So I like that about what Derrick James is doing with Anthony. I just think that Anthony lost his dog, ever since the Andy Louise fight when he got touched in the chin. It's been over from there, what I'm saying? He lost it all from there. So do I want to see him fight Wilder? I think Wilder just got that detonated bomb, that right hand from hell that it's just gonna mess you up, you know what I'm saying? How Gary say Tank couldn't beat Bud, but then Inoue could beat Tank. Hey, styles make fights, and you know, yes, it's crazy weight difference. It's a crazy weight difference, right? But when you look at the lower weight classes versus the higher ones, the smaller guys are faster, they're twitchier, and their steps are a lot smaller. Now, the thing about with Tank is that he got power to carry on a bigger weight division. I think he got power like a middleweight. You know what I'm saying? Not a super middleweight, but a middleweight. And I can't even say that as well because you have to see how Tank reacts in a bigger weight class. Is he sometimes you lose your sharpness when you're heavier. So that's a big thing is you don't want to lose your sharpness because sometimes your sharpness is what makes your punch bite. So if Tank moved up to 47, is he as sharp as he is when he's at 35 and he hydrates to more like closer to 150? So, these are all little things that you have to keep in factor when we talk about these type of matches that are necessarily not predictable. You know what I'm saying? Because Tank got a lot of work to do at 35 to be mentioning things like this. Wilder's hometown boy, Alabama. You know, ho- let's get into some of these comments as well. David, I know they just keep saying it. Absolutely. Tank set up traps and exposes when he sees his opportunity. Absolutely. He's a very patient fighter. His op- his opponent gets desperate and leaves themselves open. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? That's what's the patience. I think that's like the key thing with Jermell and Canelo Alvarez moving up to 68. Yeah, Mel has the size as well, but in the same time, if you really look at it, the patienceness. Mel has never been in a fight with a guy that was that experienced, that is that patient. And what's weird about it is if you look at Canelo. What he does is this is a movement that Canelo does that people don't really see, right? And when you're fighting him, you definitely not going to see it. But in the outside, you can see it more. He goes like this, but when he goes like this, he steps with his front foot. Boom, and he's taking a step. So then when he'll go like this, there'll be a time when you're in mid because in boxing you got the short range, mid range, and long range, right? So he's going like this, and he is cutting the ring, right? He's going like this, he's cutting the ring. So when he's in mid range or to long range, say he's in long range and he goes like this, you're gonna see that the guy, that his opponent, they're gonna want to parry a punch. They're gonna react if he feints. It's scary in the mid range, right? So he'll go like this, and you think he's throwing a punch, or you think he's stepping in, so you throw a jab. That was the messed up part. He wanted you to throw the jab because he just went like this. He didn't take the step this time. He's already in long range. He takes, he makes you jab. Now you're coming into his range. Now he's in the mid range, and maybe even close range, depending on how big of a step you took for that jab. And now the counter shots that Canelo can give you are devastating. Let's be honest. The thing that I in that fight, what I see is that you know Canelo Alvarez fades during the later rounds lately. I think that his conditioning is a little off. I think that that's going to be the time that Jermell is at his best in the late rounds. But does Canelo let it get to the late rounds? That's the real question. You know what I'm saying? After 8 rounds, what does Canelo do? And how does I think that Jermell has to adjust more to Canelo. That if you look at the Bevo fight, you can't count the Bevo fight. Bevo's coming into that fight almost 200 pounds, at least 190 pounds, fighting Canelo. So when he throws his jab and when he steps into it, it's a heavy punch. Derek James said that Jamel's going to be weighing in around 168 pounds on fight night, or no, he's going to weigh in at 164, and then he'll probably dehydrate at 170. But you can't even put that in counter because sometimes some of these coaches will say things so you could place a bet. It's a closer fight than what people think, but this is crazy. I love what Al Heyman's doing. He's sacrificing a lot of his fighters. Um, Last minute, people were talking about on the Joe Rogan show about Terence Crawford fighting Canelo Alvarez. What a matchup! I mean, I was on a four-way phone talking boxing with some of my buddies, and they're saying, I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it. Well, there's a lot of similarities to that fight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Terence Crawford is moving up from 35, going all the way to 168. But there's something that you guys are missing here. Who is the sharper fighter? Who is the faster fighter? Who has the better footwork? These are all things that are in favor of Terence Crawford. Who is a mutual opponent? Khan. Khan was winning a lot of rounds against Canelo Alvarez. He got greedy. I think that in order for Terence Crawford to win that fight, he needs to stay at the end of his stick and don't play this catch and shoot game that you did with Spence. Because catching a big blow from Canelo Alvarez is gonna get you stumbly. It's gonna get you off balance because you're naturally a lighter fighter. So he's gonna have to fight completely different. He's gonna have to throw a lot of volume punches and throw it when he feels like he needs to throw it. You know the cool thing about Terence Crawford that a lot of people don't talk about, he shoots. He throws his punches, his counter punches in traffic, and because of that, it's pretty much you can't even time him, honestly, because he's trying to time you. He's throwing his punch right when you start your punch. So now, what you would have to do is do a lot of feints. That's one thing that Errol Spence don't know how to do. His feint game is horrible. For the people that been in the ring, right? Shout out to the 70 people on the live as well, right? For the people that been in the ring, when you when you see a guy that he's doing certain things and you're like, damn, it looks good, or he's fainting and I'm reacting to it, then right in your head you're like, maybe I should faint. And I seen that in the Spence and Crawford fight. And when I seen that in that fight, I was like, then I seen Spence trying to do feints after Crawford. Crawford wasn't even being fooled by any of his slow time feints that Spence was throwing. So, and let's be honest, Spence is not a great feinter. You know what I'm saying? This is a thinking game. We have to play chess here. Now, do I think that Spence is a great fighter? Yeah, but styles make fights. He is a great fighter for the guys that he fought. But look at the guys that he fought. If he fought Keith Thurman, and I don't want to hear, oh, Keith Thurman was ducking him and this and that, because I don't want to hear it. Business of boxing comes first before, we call each other ducks. You know what I'm saying? That's casual stuff. Casual fans will say stuff like that. Oh, he's ducking him. No, the business of boxing needs to make sense. Keith Thurman has been in a higher business. When you fight guys like Danny Garcia first, when Danny was something, you fought Sean Porter when Sean Porter was something. Granted, the fact I think that was the best Sean Porter I ever seen was with Spence, but nevertheless, right? We're talking about stardom. We're talking about popularity at the time, right? So, and then he fights Manny Pacquiao. Come on. Manny Pacquiao, everybody was making $10 million when you fought Manny Pacquiao. So why, and then he made tons of money with Barrios. Why? Because Barrios fought fucking Tank. So obviously, when it comes to money, that's why Keith Thurman doesn't want to fight Boots, because there's no money there. We can talk about this duck goose stuff all we want, but if you understand the business of boxing, then you will understand why some of these fights don't happen. And we got to just stop riding off of your favorite fighter. You know what I'm saying? I love Boots. I think Boots is the goods. You know what I'm saying? Do I know what would happen with? I think the most 50-50 fight in boxing right now is it's definitely gonna have to be Boots and Bud. That's like the closest fight that you can see happen. And I don't favor either or, because I sometimes I look at it, I'm like, damn, I favor Terrence because of the experience. But that's what we see on TV. Boots has been in there in the gym, putting in that work. That's experience. I I was more of a gym fighter. I only had 13 fights. Most of y'all people know me as media. Y'all don't even know me as a boxer like that. But I had over hundreds, hundreds, maybe a couple thousand of sparring rounds. So you can get that depending, what type of work you really getting. But I'm gonna get into some of these comments, but I just wanted to break down some styles for y'all to understand why I bet on certain people. Um, Going into some of them, right? The uppercut versus Benavidez Jr. That was a good uppercut. Benavidez Jr. was a great, great amateur. Like, I think his record was like 100 and something wins, maybe even 200, and like 5 losses. Like, he has a great amateur pedigree. Unlike David, David got all his work from the gym. He had like five. David Benavidez had like five amateur fights. So this is what I'm trying to talk about experience. David Benavidez has been in there in the gym with Manny Pacquiao. He's been learning for some of the greats. You know what I'm saying? Even me when I was coming up, bro, my first sparring match was with a professional boxer that had over 60 fights. And I learned. You know what I'm saying? I lost that sparring match and it made me want to go back into the gym. Next thing you know, 4 months go by and I'm giving whoopings to the same guys. So it's about how much you love the sport. That's what when I try to tell you. If you get your ass whooped one time, it goes to show you who you really are. You know what I'm saying? Do you want to get back in there? Oh no, I don't want to spar him again. He hurt me. He hurt. No, well, you're not going to learn. You're not going to learn from that. So in this fight, does Spence learn from this fight after Crawford? Yes, he does. But he also learns a little bit about himself. Am I okay? You know what I'm saying? Do I believe that prior, pre-car crash, does Crawford win? Hell yeah. Gives him the same whooping. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It gives him the same whooping. Maybe it's a little bit more entertaining. Maybe it goes into the late rounds. But I still think that Spence has had problems with guys that are great counter punchers that are as big as him and as strong as him. I think the factor of that he never got hit while he was swinging. I think that he got hit because the times that he got hit was because the other opponent wanted to press the action. I haven't got to see Spence get hit while he's throwing a punch. That's the one that you can't see is the one that hurts you the most. And I think that's the key thing of why, and it makes you not want to throw. You, honestly, like when you have a guy like that's throwing, and it's about the timing. It's about the timing. Like I think that's why a lot of good baseball players or guys that played baseball and football, but really baseball, the hand-eye coordination coming into boxing is great. Shakur Stevenson played baseball. Um, so it's like when you learn how to hit a curveball, you have to see that ball hit the bat. It's like boxing. You have to see his hand come at you, and you got to get off the line, and you got to shoot. It's timing. So that's why it's a good translation as far as when it comes to baseball and boxing and stuff like that. I think the best 50-50 fight that could happen could be Shakur and Frank Martin, but it might be boring. Nah, I don't think it'll be boring. See, let me tell you something. Casual fans love knockouts. I understand. Um, people that really understand the sport, people want to see adjustments being made, and when not just two adjustments being made in 12 rounds. I want to see five or six adjustments being made throughout 12 rounds. I think that's when you start to see the beauty of boxing. You know what I'm saying? When people start to make adjustments and then they switch in a fly. I think those are the great things in boxing. Um, I'm glad that I got to share some of this stuff with you guys because I feel like these are topics that a lot of interviewers and a lot of boxing content creators don't really break down. Maybe because they never really been in there, or maybe they don't know what they're seeing. Sometimes a lot of fans they're watching the fight and they don't know what they're seeing. So, but is that a 50-50 fight? I give the edge to Shakur. He has more size than Frank. I also think that Frank's last fight, it kind of exposed a different element. I think that you start to see that, oh, I know why, Frank Martin has a similar style to Spence. And it has to do with Derek James. Um, he doesn't have too much flavor. Now, what I like about Frank Martin that Spence doesn't have is the footwork. Frank Martin's footwork is amazing. It's super underrated. But he's pretty much straight up and down. He doesn't have like he kind of needs more awkwardness to his game. I think he needs to come off the line and shoot things a little bit. I think he needs to be, don't get super proper with the fundamentals because it could at this level being awkward and knowing the fundamentals gets you fall. So you got to know the difference between having the fundamentals but also being awkward. You know what I'm saying? That was Terence Crawford in the fight. When you're superly up and down, I call it noodles with no sauce. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, going off of Frank's last performance, it's hard for me to see Frank winning 3 rounds at best with Shakur. Um, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Shakur Stevenson hasn't lost a round in the pros. Jerron Boots Ennis. Jerron Boots Ennis, I think, lost a couple rounds with Karen. Because I have to be honest, but I don't. He won at least 10 of those rounds. You know what I'm saying? I think that Karen at best won 3. But before that fight, Boots didn't lose. He hasn't lost a round in boxing, so it's hard. Yes, Frank Barton is a late bloomer. I remember talking to him, and him letting me know about that. He has the tendency of, coming in and straight back in his last fight. You can't root a fighter's last performance and think that he don't have it. You seen that Tiafimo showed everybody that. You know what I'm saying? Charlo, Jermell Charlo, one of the kings of, rematches. Um, Boots has lost 0 rounds. That's not true. You know what I'm saying? Prior to that fight, he didn't lose any rounds. But you got to be real. You have to be real. Karen had a couple chef cooks that landed on Boots, and it was hard. He had difficult time in a couple of rounds. I'm not saying that it was a close fight. It was a split decision. Hell no. But you have to give Karen at least 2 rounds out of that fight. And you have to be real. I like Boots. He's my guy. Like, I like him. But I gotta be real. Terence Crawford lost rounds too. It's okay. You know? Doesn't make anybody better or worse. But you gotta know what you're seeing. Another thing too, I'm not a judge. You're not a judge. We don't get paid to judge. You understand? I've gotten paid for commentary, but I haven't got paid to good judge. So adjustments are adjustments. I think we have another super chat, and if we do, I mean, salute to the people that are throwing them down, man. Um, I think it's one. I'm not sure. Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice, chat. We getting some love out of this because I know you're getting more gems out of this boxing channel versus the other ones. That's for sure. Nevertheless, um, Shakur got touched up by Robinson. Getting touched up and having moments in fights are good. But did he win the fight? Did Robinson win the rounds? That's another story. Moments are different. You got to count. We're watching the fight, and yeah, Boots is a beast. What? He's a beast. You know what I'm saying? Combination of speed and power. The welterweight Roy Jones with a slot of like arm, like a little bit of sprinkle of Andre Ward in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Boots is the goods. We need to see more of him though. This is his era at the welterweight division. Terence Crawford is about to leave. So you got to fight everybody. I think that Showtime needs to do their just dues with him, man. They got a nice, great talent. Make him fight 3 fights a year. I don't care if it's Blair Cobbs. I don't fight them all. Man, have grudge fights. Have this and that. Like, remember Benavidez and Caleb Plant? We had 2 former champions, and you got Caleb Plant that took a L. He goes and knocks out Anthony Durrell, and now this is a grudge match that has been brewing for 5 years. Why can't that be Blair Cobbs and Jerome Boots Ennis? I want to see more. Showtime got to do more for Boots. They really do. I need that. Robinson better. Robinson did better work than Karen. Laughing my ass off. 1 round in my eyes. Hey, at the end of the day, it's your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the fact, we can't say that Boots is not one of the best defensive fighters in the game. We can't. Now, did he get hit? Does he get hit? Hell yeah, he does get hit. But he's one of. And when I mean by one of, I'm talking about, like, if you name the top 5, he might be in the 4 or 5 discussion. You know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevenson at number 1, for sure. They will be losing money if they don't. Let me know what you meant by that. They will be losing money if they don't. Um, think about what you just said, my guy. Shakur never lost a round, but you right. But things, thing is, Tio, unlike Frank, already showed he could perform at a high level. Frank gotta show it. Absolutely. That's why I think that Frank got tested in his last fight. A lot of people don't know that the guy was a bronze medalist in the Olympics, and he's seen the international level. When it comes down to Frank, I don't think he's seen a lot of the guys in the international level. And that's where when you go into the amateurs and you go into the international level, you'll see that you feel comfortable in the pros because you've seen every style in the world. The key word of this shit is becoming a world champion. Yo, bro, who you think can give Shakur a real challenge? Honestly, everybody want to see Shakur and Tank. And the reason why is that we want to see the chin adversity, the chin insurance of a guy that is not a good puncher, but a devastating puncher. We want to see that. Tank is a wild card. You have to admit, he loses rounds, that's fine, but he's a wild card. There's a reason why how he goes about his business. You know what I'm saying? There's a way of how Shakur goes about his business. I think also Shakur has a tough time with my man I think with Jermaine Ortiz in the first 5 rounds, I think is going to be hard for Shakur because he's a tough kid. But after 5 rounds, I see Shakur picking him apart. Not saying that Jermaine Ortiz is going to win those 5 rounds. I'm just saying that he's a durable, strong. He punches hard, and the thing about it is the sharpness. The sharpness is the difference there. It's like Bud sharpness versus Spence. There's a big sharpness gap, and I think that's what Shakur got over Jermaine. But besides that, I like to see guys that have competed at a high level, and I think that and has been in the division for a long time. And he's a big guy for the division, so I think that there's a big size difference there, and I think that that would be a good fight. But eventually the switch comes, and then I think that Shakur and Jermaine Ortiz is my guy. He's from my area, so it's like to me, for me to say that, you could tell I'm just a real ass dude. You know what I'm saying? Um, all I've done was interviews with Shakur, but I've actually been in the ring, with Jermaine Ortiz, doing pad work and doing different things and stuff like that. Jermaine has a quick a twitch for sure, because what most people don't talk about, Mills, is most great Olympians don't be great professionally. It's true because of the style matchups. No, Boots is not 2-5 2-5 defensive fighter in the game. No, Boots is not. I mean, that's your opinion, GQ. I mean, I think he's very defensively sounded type of a fighter. I mean, I think Terence is a good defensively sounded guy, but it's about when you're in there taking chances. You know what I'm saying? Has Boots been in there with elite guys to be able to be really tested his defense? No, but what he has showed today, right now, and I think also that Boots hasn't really gone into his bag yet. He hasn't gotten into his bag yet. You know what I'm saying? But do Shakur make Ryan look how Tank made him look? Two different styles. If you really look at it, it's like I don't see Ryan winning no rounds. I don't see Ryan. Ryan probably could go 12 with Shakur, but I could also see Shakur knocking him out too, as well, stopping him. Not knocking him up, but stopping him. For sure. Shakur will make Ryan look worse than Tank did. Yeah, but think about it, right? There's no worse of a way to get out of there by getting your soul taken from you. Your I didn't want to get up. Like, there's nothing worse than that. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I know that he'll get fucking outclassed, for 12 rounds, easy work. And he probably will get him out of there because, like, a lot of people don't talk about, if you don't have the biggest punch, the best way to get you out of there is by throwing a lot of combinations, quick and sharp. When I was an amateur fighter, I didn't have the biggest punch. I remember my cousin. He, you know, that's what I like about Styles, because like when we used to go and fight my cousin was a great amateur too, but he was flat footed and he had a bigger punch than me. but I was just so quick and sharp, and I threw combinations so fast that it overwhelmed a lot of the power punchers. Shakur is more dangerous than Tank. He will pick Tank apart, and y'all gonna be surprised how easy he makes it look. Yeah, it's a possibility. That's why when we talk about matchups, like I'll definitely want to break down that fight. But what I want to do when I break down that fight, I want to watch film study with y'all and really break it down to a T. Because if and a lot of people they say in the gym, Shakur is a fucking beast. Like he's a dog and he has crazy heart. So I want to see it. But yo, how do you test someone's heart when they get hurt? So has people seen Shakur hurt in the gym for them to see where his heart's at? I haven't been in the gym with Shakur to understand that, and we haven't seen it in fights yet. So we will. I think that's why when people say we haven't seen the best of me, when you haven't, that's those are the things that we're missing. Smash the like button like you guys would smash your girlfriend on a Saturday night or on a Sunday night and all the chores are done. You know what I'm saying? The wifey just relax. You know what I mean? You clean the house and she's all she want to do is just open her legs for you. You know what I'm saying? Like smash it like that. You know what I'm saying? We all got 119. I want them just to be 150. Let's get it. Um, so no comment. Okay, put them there. They're with Tank. Watch how he get hurt. It's a possibility, but in the same time, styles make fights, bro. And if you can't hit what you can't touch, it's gonna be an issue. Why you never decided to go pro, Mill? So the reason why I never decided to go pro was because, first of all, I was a barber. Wow, I've been a barber since I was 15 years old. Worked at a barbershop at 17 years old. Then, um, you know, in the same time while I was doing, I was a bartender. So when all my boys was at pro, they were making like they were selling their tickets, making like 15 to 1,000 on a good day. Some of them were complaining making only $600 a fight. And then um, when I started seeing that they were starting to fight in the casinos, they were like, "Yo, I made $8,000. I made $5,000," And then I became a club promoter and a club owner at a really young age. Around like I was a club promoter from 16 to 20. I owned my first club at 21. I owned two clubs in the same time with a barbershop. So I was making more money in one night than what these guys was making in a whole fight. And when I opened up my club, I had three nights. I would open it for 5 nights, and I would just be making a whole lot more money. And I left my house at 16 years old, so money was a priority for sure. So that's why I didn't go pro. Corset Valdez almost made him throw up. Yeah, possibility. You know what I'm saying? He probably ate a a chorizo taco. You know what I'm saying? And probably couldn't fart and just took it out. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, anything could have happened. Let's be real, for real, for real. Um, you know what I'm saying? Let's get into some of these comments, guys. Come on, smash the like button, hit the appreciation button, hit me with a super chat, hit me with something, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, I like Shakur, no lie, but Tank, I don't know, cause Tank throws punches like Tyson in the inside. Yo, he is like the Mike Tyson of the lightweights, that's for sure. So biasly, he been hurt, making him money without getting hit. Mm. Damn, this live is still going. Hell yeah, we cooking here, man. I'm just chopping it up. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Um, and he quit in sparring against Devin. Who did? Oh, against with Tank and Devin. Yeah, it happened. You still promote? Nah, I don't, but I think I might get into it a little bit more because my boy, I don't know if y'all know, but one of my close friends is Zab Judah. And Zab Judah, he's getting into rapping now. So I'm just getting him used to like doing, I'm gonna be his travel manager. And I could always stay into it, but it's like I'm more into like coaching kids and boxing and stuff like that. Sometimes and this media stuff as well. I like helping people, and I know when I was promoting, I was just selling a good time and drinking liquor, and you could probably go home, get into a car crash, a lot of fights at the end of the night. Sometimes you get stabbed or shot. So I kind of don't want to promote those type of things or promote something in a positive way. I'm 34 years old, and I just want to be able to, you know, Zab rapping sucks bad. Hey, you know what I mean? That's your opinion, you know what I'm saying? But that's my guy. So, just leave those negative comments alone, man. You know what I mean, David? Like, we try to keep it positive. Everything's been positive all day today. So let's just keep it real. And, I know you that there's your 5 seconds of fame right there. Um, I got Tank over everyone though, cause he a complete fighter with the equalizer. Definitely got that goddamn equalizer. That shit ain't no oh man. I'm gonna be wrapping it up real soon, guys. I appreciate everybody that showed love, that you know anybody that dropped donations. I really appreciate it. I'll definitely be tapping in and doing this a little bit more often. Just giving y'all my perspective on certain fights as well. But at the same time, giving you guys the high level pro boxing media interviews, because that's how we started and that's how we will continue. Respect, respect it, Mill. But know you feel about Tank fighting Cruz again. Mm, it's a business, man. This is a business. And Cruz never been knocked out, and do I see that there's better fights on the table? Yes. Is Tank young, 28 years old? Yes. He's young. Um, he has so many fights on the table. He could, I know he said he would like to retire at 30, but I don't really see it. You know what I'm saying? I think he make as much money as possible. And there's just so many things that he could do. So I think the sky's the limit. I think he's gonna fight all the guys that he said he's gonna fight. But I just think that right now, you got to build up your resume, and he could be the first person to knock out Pitbull. That'd be great. I think Pitbull's a problem. I think that he didn't look great in that Pitbull fight. Like he looked good. He looked good, but it's not Tank Davis good. Let's be honest. Tank Davis could get you the hell out of there. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he hurt his hand. I understand. But I would like to see him knock out Pitbull Cruz, get him out the way, never talk to me about Cripple Cruz again. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear you Pitbull, Chihuahua, nothing. I don't want to hear nothing about Pitbull at the end of the night. But if he can get him out of there, get him out of there, put him to sleep, pack his bags, go back to Mexico, and fight Shakur Stevenson, whatever the case may be. After that, there's big fights for Tank. You know what I'm saying? The good thing about Tank, he can move up to 140 and challenge anybody too. So you got to be careful when you have that type of a specimen in front of you. Anything can happen, and there's just so many great fights ahead of him. The 140 division is smacking. I think that he needs to. I think a great fight for him is Devin Haney. But nevertheless, I think obviously the Shakur Stevenson and Tank fight's like the biggest fight. That's like the Errol Spence and Terence Crawford for the lightweights for show. Um, Facts, keep it positive. That's why we mess with this channel. I appreciate you, swagged out. Swagged out. We keep it 100. We keep it 100 here. We care about people's feelings, but if it's gonna be something that we got to keep it 100 too. You know what I'm saying? So this is the boxing world. It gets tough. You know what I'm saying? But there's no need to be talking about somebody that Zab Judah really enjoys rapping right now, and I like that about him because he feels like he just won a new title again. So I mean, I'm gonna be having him on tomorrow night. Tomorrow afternoon around 12 o'clock. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. I'm going to be having Teofimo Lopez's dad, his senior. He's going to be chopping it up. He get really wild. So, and like I told you, Antonio Tarver, um, I hit you up. You want to do the interview? We do it. You want to chop it up with Mill City? We do it. I'm not going to bother you all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because last night, senior, he got tired, went to sleep on me. He didn't even tell me. So for the people that were waiting for that, I'm sorry about that. Wasn't my fault. But in the same time, hey, these guys are doing it for free. So, I can't be like, yo, why you do this? Why you do that, man? You showing me love, showing y'all love. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Facts. Don't want to hear about that Pitbull Chihuahua no more. I don't. He looked terrible starting trying, especially that Giovanni Cabrera. That fight looked bad. You know what I'm saying? He just looked, but it's styles, bro. Giovanni Cabrera, he looked horrible too. You know what I'm saying? Like he was so long. Pause. But it was just like he could have just kept it going. Pow, pow, pow. Left it out. Pow, left it out. He was throwing punches like this halfway. halfway. Like put some thump in that shit, Giovanni. Like for real. Get this pit bull dude out of here, and then you could have been fighting Tank. But you never did it. Um, Shout out to everybody on the live for real, for real. I gotta get out of here real soon. Salute Mills, keep going up. Especially man, we're going up, man. 10,000 subscribers plus. We going up to 11,000, and probably in a couple of days, maybe a week or two. And sky's the limit. We hitting 20,000 subscribers, and we're going to be the most well-known podcast channel. I'm going to have to be so many different things. I got a radio station that's going to be sponsoring this channel as well. So I mean, we definitely going to be doing our thing. Yo, you right, Mills. Giovanni didn't even sit on his punches. Nah, he was scared. He must have got hit with a little something, and he was like, yo, I'm just gonna just stay on the outside. And then when I do pressure Pitbull, it was some weird ass pressure. Like Pitbull looked like his conditioning was whack. The whole fight was horrible. My opinion, it was so boring. It could have been anybody on that fight. I mean, Subriel Matias could have been on that card. You know what I mean? And turned it up for y'all. I don't know why. But anyway, salute to everybody on the channel. Please smash the like button, the appreciation button. I appreciate the super chats that came in for today. It keeps me alive. It keeps me motivated to want to do more for the channel. Even though I'm gonna always keep it 100 with y'all and give you the most content I can give y'all every day. Well, salute, God bless, and we on to the next one. Much love to y'all.